Hi, nephew. FBA prime time. How are you?
Hello?
Hey, can you hear me? Oh, wait. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. What's up?
Uh, Nothing. I say, you know what? Let me go live now and see who comes into the room.
Oh yeah. I saw you live. I was like, BX never live at this time. How you doing, Auntie?
Yeah. I'm okay. I'm okay. Like the live, complete the daily heart meet. I do have a goal. So my prompt. New York catches a lot of flack, and it's not without good reason. So, my lives lately, especially for Black History Month, have been destroying the narrative of Tetherville.
Mm,
Mhm. So, the premise behind that, if you could see, is that I pick influential events, people, Black American, of course, and how they help to shape the culture of New York, build the infrastructure, and even the violence we face. Because we did have all Black towns and settlements here. We have some settlements that are preserved by the Historical Society. Yep.
mm,
So, yeah. Yep.
understood.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So what I have here, the Haitians are always running around. If it wasn't for 1804, y'all wouldn't be emancipated. I'd be like, a whole 60 years later. And honestly, there was no social media or anything like that time, right? So how did we get word? So one said, well, the our rebellion didn't start in 1804. It started earlier. My research shows that it may have started 1799, if that. But we've been rebelling even in places like New York since the 16 and 1700s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we all know about the New York Slave Revolt of 1712 and 1741. But if you check my spotlight up there, I have smaller rebellions, conspiracies, and localized resistance in New York State. And then I go on from the resource now. It says resistance by enslaved people in New York State during the slavery era. And thank you, y'all, for the guests. Y'all are all in my way to read the prompt, but it's okay. So what our ancestors did, they did little not little, they did forms of resistance, such as oh, thank you, y'all. And Gorm World has entered the chat. Thank you, Gorm World. They did things like set arsons. They did arson and stuff. Resistance to the conditions that they were in. Sometimes they go and they act like our ancestors never like they accepted the conditions they were in New York. Even during rebellions, they try to act like there wasn't a level of violence. It was a conspiracy. Like our ancestors just accepted it. They didn't. So, hey, nobody entered the chat too. He's a historian. This is about New York. I'm trying to destroy the narrative of Tetherville, nephew. Nobody is from Harlem. Let the record show. And he teaches me so much about the music industry and stuff. So we know about 1712 and 1741. We even know about the 1863 draft riots when the Irish attacked children, women, and saved the worst of the brutality for the men. So two smaller, more localized scale resistance in New York was Long Island Schmurder. And the year was 1708, way before 1799 through 1804, let the record show. And it says, following the grisly unaliving of a planter and his family on Long Island, 4 enslaved people were, annihilated. Deleted, let's say. This event prompted the New York Assembly to pass the act for preventing the conspiracy of slaves, which formalized harsh judicial proceedings for suspected rebels, right? And then we go on to Oyster Bay surveillance, 1755. A local census in Oyster Bay included a list of free black and mixed race individuals whom officials feared might be mischievous or join enslaved people in the event of an insurrection. So you'll hear me say even our free people got it popping with our enslaved. Like free people didn't really have it easy, nor did they leave their people behind. You using my stickers. Booker T. Washington, let the record show. I always wonder why. Once I really read about Booker T. Washington, I always wonder why we would highlight Marcus Garvey, who wanted to meet Booker T. Washington, but Booker T. Washington had transitioned by the time, meaning passed, by the time Marcus Garvey came along. So I gotta tell you, that's my premise. Plus, I hear things from our own Southerners, right? Some feel like, well, not too many, but enough, feel like there was no enslavement in New York or the North. Period. A lady from New Orleans, a very beautiful lady, she told me they just didn't teach her about that. So she was surprised when I went to talking about emancipation, how our ancestors were emancipated in 1827, but then some had to do indentured servitude, right? Because they had gradual manumission. So my goal is just to show that when we're talking slavery and we're talking reparations in these hearings, I don't know why Latinos, Caribbeans, or Africans, I think even a Haitian showed up. In upstate New York, a white tea woman showed up and asked for an unconventional framework. And I was like, lady, if your privilege did not grant you whatever it is that pale skin grants you, you ain't going to get it from us. Ain't no unconventional. Now you doing too much. You know what I'm saying, prime time?
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of funny. A white woman showing up to reparation hearing, asking about the framework. You know,
Yeah,
a lot of them people, they always come over here and ask questions about how would y'all want the money, how much are y'all getting. You know, a lot of these people are just, agitators, and they want to just see what we got going on. So that's how I feel when I hear white tea people showing up to our reparation hearing, asking about the framework of reparation. They acting like they
that
paying at they check directly, which they're not, because we know the institutions that and the government that pretty much allow slavery to continue and they benefit off of it. That's who we are getting our justice repair from. It's not the average white tea person. So I always
right,
find it very humorous when I hear white tea people at reparation hearing.
right. So my topic was right, and I noticed a lot of people are doing current events. I did talk about the Haitian briefly about Dirty Black American, the African boomer girl who wanted to strap something on her back and stuff. But when I Googled trending current events the other day, trending current events for Black Americans in February 2026, I was surprised when the unemployment rates came up and when the black recession came up. And silly me, hey Eagles fan, I had closed the tab. So I'm gonna see if I could try to bring it up because I gotta tell you, but what I could fit on the prompt said rising unemployment, a state of the dream 2026 report highlights that black unemployment reached 7.5% by December of 2025, nearly double the YT unemployment rate of 3.8%. But something told me to ask if the black immigrants, and I don't really call them black, but this is how they got them listed in some resources, were included in that statistic. And they are. So when they start saying that they do so much better than us and we don't have this and we don't have that, what about their population that's over here getting stuff or on the unemployment line with the rest of us? That ain't coming here doing better than us.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
So,
and that's been the biggest problem, right? Is that we know we have a lot of melanated immigrants who come over here, and they not just play our politics, but they also are incorporating into our numbers. So when it's time for all the negative stuff about Black American people, they love to point their hand at us and say, "This is what y'all guys doing wrong," not understanding you are incorporating into our wrongdoing also.
yeah.
It's about you cannot separate, you know what I'm saying? You cannot separate the I guess I don't know how to frame the what I'm trying to say, but you can't separate yourself from us because y'all incorporate with us. So I find it humorous that a lot of them really think they're doing that much better. The
Right.
only reason that y'all are allowed to do better is for the simple fact they don't want Black Americans to have it.
Exactly. Exactly. So how have you been? Because this is like an open panel, echo chamber, of course. You could vent, you could give me some news, whatever you want to tell me, nephew. What's on your mind?
I got much to say. I really haven't thought much about the Haitian girl personally because I just laugh. A dirty black American is funny. I mean, that's a whole mouthful. We already know Haitians have always been stereotyped as being dirty, they stink, stuff like that. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really fall into the whole who stings, who don't, that's dumb to me. I'm more so worried about our people, particularly the Pan Africans. I think the Pan Africans are doing too much right now. My main focus had been Umar Johnson in his recent interview talking about FBA and ADOS.
Mhm.
Particularly more about FBA, less about ADOS, because ADOS isn't what necessarily I'm a part of. I'm part of FBA. But I have noticed that a lot of Pan Africans have been speaking more about foundational Black Americans and their uh, dislike towards us. And my main beef with the Pan Africans is that y'all speak about the disrespect that we do to the melanated immigrants, but you don't talk about the disrespect they do to us. Like you have people like her come on the panel talk calling us dirty. You have another woman who's African talking about, BOM being us. You have other people calling us lazy. They have words like Akata Jareer. The Caribbeans have words. Yardies, Yankees, whatever you want to call us. I just always notice that when it's time to hold the melanated immigrants to a standard, it seems like they're quiet. But it's time to hold us to a standard, we gotta be the bigger person. And they don't realize if those people hold their people accountable, we wouldn't have to do the things we do on this app in a sense of disrespecting them. So that's been one of my main things I've been thinking about is the whole uh, Dr. Umar Johnson and him speaking about foundational Black Americans. And I didn't like when he said we're Africans, the African freedmen. Those people weren't African. Those people were Americans.
Yeah, I think that
That's that's hella
that's
disrespectful.
his way of trolling us. If he's really the historian, especially really descended along the lineage of Frederick Douglass was against going back to Africa. Or going to Africa? Correct.
Yeah, the family came out and said that he's not even related to them. That's what the family have said at their own mouths. They're like, we don't know who this Dr. Umar Johnson guy is, but he is not related to us. He's not our kin. So I'm trying to figure out who is this person and is he a government agent? To get these to have said you are descendant of Frederick Douglass, to have had so much donations and nobody have looked into your tax records. Like, who do you work for? Can mind you, he got thousands upon thousands of dollars for his school, and none of that have been poured back into the community. I think he's from like Philly or something like that.
Puffin, I can hear everything. You ain't even on mute.
Oh,
But
oh no, I ain't
yes.
smoking. I just light up my cigarette. I ain't smoking that
Uh,
no more.
oh, okay. So he is from Philly. Um, so he seems to be Black American with Cuban ancestry. Like he has a grandparent or great grandparent with Cuban descent. But this hit me today, right? Because if you follow Afro Lee on YouTube, he does host similar but different topics. So his live today wasn't the topic on YouTube. He was talking about Dr. Umar's DAFA. That's what he called it. Descendants of African, whatever the hell, freedmen, whatever he was saying. Um, it hit me today that no matter what, even Dr. Umar tried to take credit for the reparations and say that it was the Pan Africans who got reparations under the way. So it hit me today that if Dr. Umar really has Cuban ancestry, he may be worried about if he could get reparations with foundational Black Americans, right? He may not fully understand that even if you have, or even if you are bi ethnic and you can prove that your parent has ancestry to the 1870 census, you will get reparations. So I think that he is just trying to milk Pan Africanism because we can't forget that still some people donate to Dr. Umar. And in the matter of reparations, he wants to keep us connected to Africa because then the diaspora comes into it. There are Afro-Cubans who may feel that they should get a form of reparations too. So I think everybody is tethering on to us, but I also think that our reparationists are very strong. The lineage in the 1870 date actually safeguards us. It safeguards us. So if Dr. Umar, I don't think he's full Cuban, but in the event he can't prove his lineage because he's hanging on to Frederick Douglass and the family said they don't know him, then I think he's just worried about if he's eligible or not, and he's going to keep us trying to identify as African, because then the eligibility will be a little more lenient. Now,
I mean,
it seems like a reach.
yeah. Also, I think what he said was treasonous. Also, personally, right? Because he said we shouldn't claim America and that we should claim Africa. And I just find that so disrespectful. I think he did disrespecting the ancestors with that one. It's like
Couldn't agree
it's like at
with
the
you.
end of the day, if you're not from this lineage, you're not from this land, don't try to incorporate yourself into the reparation. Because like you say, we're not going over there to Capcom, to the Caribbean caucus. We're not going over there to anybody caucus and telling them what they should and shouldn't get or trying to get something from them. If the
Mm-hmm.
harm was done by the British, by the French, by the Dutch, by whoever, enslaved y'all or colonized y'all, that had nothing to do with foundational Black Americans. That got all to do with those people in the islands. I just found it very distasteful when he come out here and say, "Oh, you're African." 'Cause it do feel like he trying to tether on the whole of the diaspora to our reparation, and we're the only melanated people on Earth who everybody feel like they should get a slice of our pie. Our pie is ours. Our people sweat for it, they bled for it, and they unalive for it. So it is due to us. It's not due to everybody.
So let me tell you, excuse me. It sounds like, and you're in the South, right? So in
Yep, yep, yep.
places like right, so in places like New York, we're a little more familiar with Pan Africanism, right? And so if you understand Pan Africanism and you're in a delineation spot, you realize, like I had to realize, right, that Pan Africanism teaches you to dislike America, right? It teaches us to dislike the American flag, right? Totally skipping the part that one of our ancestors, emancipated, of course, free. I don't know if she was born free or the family gained emancipation, but at the time she made the flag, she was free. We skip all of our great grandparents, thinking we have some ancestors buried on that soil. They even teach you how to uphold Marcus Garvey over Booker T. Washington. So when he said it, I was like, oh, that's classical Pan Africanism 101. And I think for the most part, like one of my children is kind of in that anti-America stage, but I also think he's not Pan-African, even though he was raised when I was operating under a form of Pan-Africanism and flat blackness. I think for the most part, his experience here with other demographics, such as the white tee at his work and stuff, he's just like, and then they get so he's just like anti-voting and stuff. So he kind of fall in line with like sit on the couch So he'll be mad if I vote because it's just his way, or I got to be wrong, right? So he's at that awkward stage. But with Pan Africanism now, they go really, really, really hard to detach us from this land. But delineation, and even if you don't go into full delineation, you people do start to realize, wait, I'm going to family reunions in the South. Wait, I'm having family reunions up here, and my family is coming up for the South. One common thing with New Yorkers who have family in the South, if anybody up here transitions, we either take the bodies back to the South, like my great grandmother was taken back to North Carolina, or the family comes up from the South. Because I remember when my biological mother transitioned, right? And my grandmother wanted to wait for the family to come up from the South. And my mother's oldest sister, right? My oldest auntie, she was like, I ain't waiting for them to come up to the north, and my sister gotta wait around. Like my aunt was just really, 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 really against waiting for the South because she just wanted to lay my mother to rest. And she was like, whoever don't make it by my sister's burial, they just ain't gonna make it. They could come sit with you or something, but she's getting buried. So we don't take the bodies back to Africa. Like we don't have a cemetery in Africa. But it's customary for us to take our loved ones back to the South, or even for the family to migrate up here. We're not leaving this country to bury our loved ones. But I know plenty of Jamaicans, when their loved ones pass, they are scrambling for the whole family to go and make sure that the loved one is buried in a cemetery in Jamaica. We just don't have that history.
Yeah, we don't have that history here. And I think that's one of the things is I understand that our people want to have a connection outside of America. We're looking for allyship. But at the end of the day, we're not Africans. Nor have Africa really have done anything for Black American people. So I think when he just say stuff like that is very, I'm gonna say disingenuous, but I think he just tried to push a narrative that just don't fit to our ethnicity. I think that's my main thing with Umar. I just find it very disrespectful. I just felt like he was disrespecting our ancestors. But guys like him, they do have a platform, they do have a stage, so they do get to speak. I didn't say he speak on behalf of our ethnicity, but he do claim to be Black American, so in a way he do try to speak for us. And some stuff I can agree with him, but other stuff I just can't.
And Gornwell is agreeing with you. He says facts about Dr. Umar having a platform. So another thought that I have is that this could be a new grift for Dr. Umar. Remember, he was crying that he was broke, something about the school. Did they take the school from him, or it was broken into? Whatever the thing is, because I don't keep up with him, unless he's saying snow bunnies never, Black women forever. Other than that, I ain't paying attention to Dr. Umar. But it all makes sense because the clip that I saw on Afro Elite's Live, he was mentioning ADOS came first, then Foundational Black Americans. He didn't have to mention us at all, right? He could make his case without us. But I'm thinking he wants to tap into another pot where he could continue getting some donations. Now, this is alleged. This is all my thinking. This is my theory of Dr. Umar. Why, after so many years, now he want to talk about freedmen?
Yeah, that's kind of weird, ain't it? He never talk about Freedmen.
But I believe the U.S. Freedmen's Nation, Wani, Professor Allen, Arthur Watkins, I believe they sent him a legal leaflet. Don't quote me on that, but I think they did. Sometimes I be listening, but not listening on the panel. I be on my laptop. But I believe so. But if y'all want to ask, y'all can ask if I don't ask first. So if that's the case, because he is using the freedman status, and attaching Africa to it when the freedman actually locks out Africans? Why would he do that?
Mm, that's a good question. I don't know.
Right?
Yeah. He seemed like an
So,
agent to me. He might be an agent.
so can you? Because I don't know if I got it confused or not. An agent, right? Because when people be like, "That person is an agent," and I'm guilty of it, who are they reporting to, and what happens with the information? Because so far, during our delineation movement, FBA is not the movement. We're not an organization.
Nope.
We are delineation is the movement. But I see a lot of people saying FBA movement. Now, an agent is out to get information to get people arrested. Correct?
Yeah. Or report to government agencies. Also believe that's an agent. You also reporting to the government.
Hmm. I don't know. He could be, or he could just be a grifter now.
Yeah, you don't know what he's on. I mean, by the end
Hmm.
down, unless it's any man who don't take care of his children. I'm gonna say that.
Right. How many children do he have? Do you know?
I think he got two daughters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he got two daughters.
Yeah, that's crazy. So what else is going on besides the Dr. Umar Kabaku? I'm making up words.
Michael, in my own personal life, nothing. Uh, I'm trying to get.
Well, I wasn't getting personal, but if you want to tell me, is everything okay with you and wifey? How's that investigation going?
Oh yeah, everything going good. Oh, we still looking into it. Saying stuff like that. She telling me how a lot where majority, because it was very, 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 very small amount of African immigrants who came to America, very small. But she's seeing where they particularly was located at. A lot of them was located in Maryland, believe it or not.
Mhm.
So we just more so looking into that. So it's going pretty good. It's step by step, day by day. But my wife is doing good. Uh, my personal life, I'm trying to get into a new career path personally.
Mhm.
Believe it or not, I actually trying to join the force,
ICE or the police force?
police force.
Ah, that's what's up.
Yeah,
I think
I'm doing paperwork
so.
right now. As I'm talking to you, I'm doing the paperwork. Uh, just filling this stuff out. It's a lot of paperwork.
Of course.
Yeah.
But can I ask what is your reasoning and what division would you like to go into in regarding policing?
My reasoning is I kind of is getting tired to see our people kind of get treated bad, by some police officers. I believe if you look at the numbers, majority of police officers are white, and I do feel like if we have more people like myself into these positions, maybe it'd be better in our communities, better in my community, particularly. So I want this better in my community. I think people like me, we joined the force. I ain't saying I'm giving breaks out to people. I'm not gonna say that, of course not. But I mean, I think it would just will help the community because I could relate more with our people, because sometimes that's what we need is more people like ourselves in these positions. So that's why I want to join because I want to see a better outcome with police interactions, and I think I can be that person. And also, I think it's going to help because eventually I do want to start my own kind of political grassroots organization eventually. And I think some type of social service will help my record. So it's both want to help my community, and also it helps when I want to create my own political organization or join a political grassroots organization. I think this type of service will help with my record because because it's like if you want to serve your community, if you got no service work, you haven't worked in public office or worked in some type of public position, people are not gonna take you as serious. So it just added to my own type of political career in a way.
That is beautiful. So, there's a lady, not sure if you know her or not. She is FBA, and she used to come, on the panels a lot. Every now and then she pops up, right? She's primarily on Twitter. So before y'all really got here, like there was a lot of bullshit already going on, between the lineage and between the tethers and stuff, right?
Mhm.
And so a lot of us went to Twitter where it's more free and you're not obligated to sit in somebody's room and be attacked, right?
Mhm.
And but she went to the inauguration, I believe it was, for Trump. And I didn't see her in a while, not even on Twitter, not over here. And finally I saw her and I said, "Hey, where you been? You know how you been? Things like that." And she was studying to take the bar. And I haven't seen her in a while, so now I should message her and ask her how is it going or was she able to take the test? Like when does she take the bar? So we do have people because of the delineation movement understanding that it's never too late to do things like even go to law school.
Yeah, I mean, I think our people. No, I think our people would do good if we, you know, we have complaints. I don't know. You heard recently about the black man who got unalived by the police
Well, there
officers.
were two. There was Daquan Johnson.
It was recent.
His
It was recent.
Yeah, there was two recent. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Go ahead. I'm listening.
And I was saying, like, I seen kind of how everything done. You notice them guys were white. You know, like I said, I just feel like in times like that, if our people are in these, we're more police officers, we're more lawyers, we're more judges. Not saying that we're gonna, you know, have more. We will have more bias towards our own, but I think the understanding of how our people operate will be better. Even in things like court, you notice when we go to these jury duties and stuff like that, they primarily is white, you know, and I think people lack understanding of why our people do the things we do. And we
Right.
have more people who are like ourselves, then I understand people would get off on these charges, but I think a lot of injustices will happen frequently less, not more. Now, I ain't saying that it's a perfect model, but I think it would help.
Uh huh.
But
So,
but yeah, that black man got unalived, and like I said, he got unalived by two white cops. I feel like
but
maybe
there was
it was some black guy, it was some black men like himself who would have did that. They probably wouldn't have did him like that.
but let me ask you: was this the one who was Well, maybe it was one police incident and then it was one strange shooting. So you're talking about the man that they unleashed the dog on?
Yeah, the one who was on the bike.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was up
Yeah.
north somewhere.
I'm not sure. I want to say Maryland, but I'm not sure. And the mother was very hysterical. Well, not hysterical. Very, very, very. Of course, she was very, and it's to be expected. Upset, angered, the pain, the passion in her voice, and she said they Emmett Tilled her son. She used those words. They Emmett Tilled him.
Yeah,
So that is horrible to me.
yeah. It's sad to see that, but when I see stuff like that, it makes me more passionate to make sure that our people are getting represented well.
Right.
And like I said, we gotta be more, we gotta do better because we can't be on the outside just yelling. We gotta get somewhere on the inside to make some of these changes. That's how things like African American was given to us because you only have a few of us at these levels, and they're talking for the whole ethnicity. But if we have more people, it would be completely different.
Exactly.
So I'm just getting older and realizing, what my mission is. I think this delineation, the FBA, the all this going on, I think it has opened my eyes to I want to do more social work for our people, fight more harder for our people, because nobody's fighting for us, nor is it anybody's job to fight for us but us.
Right.
So I'm just, just getting older and realizing I'm also a young man myself, but I'm just getting a little more older. Try to be better.
When's your birthday?
May 22nd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll be
That's like a
29 this year.
Gemini.
I'll be
That's
29.
a Gemini, right?
Yeah, I'm a Gemini.
Ah, I'm surprised. I like you.
Hey, my wife said that all the time. She a Virgo. She was like,
I love Virgos though. I love Virgos.
yeah, she a Virgo. She was like, you're a, you're a Gemini. I don't do signs for real. She was like, dang, you a Gemini. I'm a Virgo. She was like, we kind of uncompatible. 'Cause I think she's a earth sign and I'm an air sign.
Mm-hmm.
But I just try to be regular and normal.
Aww.
I tell her, I was like, man, I don't sit right here and try to be too argumentative.
Mm-hmm.
But I get passionate about the things I care about.
I see. I see. Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people talk shit about Geminis. I kind of laugh. I'm like, I understand. You make us mad. We definitely can definitely be. We could definitely snap. We could definitely snap. What's the date? It's the 23rd.
The 24th.
24th. Okay. Two.
What's up? What you got? What you doing?
I'm doing the paperwork right now.
Oh. Oh, but you didn't tell me the field that you wanted to go into.
I'm just right now. I'm just gonna go in to be a recruit. This a regular police officer. It's regular.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't want to do dispatch or nothing like that. Just a regular police officer. Be out in the field.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you okay?
Yeah. Plus, I'm not a small guy either. I'm like 6 foot. Like I said, I'm like 220. It's funny because other police officers have said you should join us. Before I was a little more younger, I looked crazy. Like, hell no, I'm not going to join y'all.
Right.
But I guess I'm getting older. I told some of my family members, my brother said, like, nah, I can't rock with you. I was like, dang, little bro, for real? He's like, yeah, I can't rock with you, man. He's like, damn, I got to change my last name. I'm like, damn.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you think he's serious though? Oh, Gone World says he likes cognac. Cognac. Cognac.
Cognac.
Mm-hmm.
Cognac, cool.
So
Yeah. He might be serious. I don't know. He one of them people kind of in the streets, so he could be talking, but nobody knows for real.
Gone World is laughing. Um,
But yeah, but I'm
so,
I try, I'm trying to do something different with my life.
yeah. Well, I'm rooting for you. I do have a cousin. It surprised me. Because he's the type of, like, if you talk to some New Yorkers, they'll tell you about stories of our, like, well, my generation and the generation above me, like my older cousins, they would literally fight you for stepping on their sneakers. Literally, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, right? So, he's a cop today.
Mm. For real?
So it be men that you don't even expect to become police officers or anything like that. They get a certain age and you know, but you know. So my cousins on my mother's side, my biological mother's side, they were mainly like 5% and stuff. And, my older cousins, people be like, I like the way you move, BX. I like the way you think. And I always give them the credit for the gems that they dropped on me, right?
Mhm.
Now, some of my father's family, yeah, of course, right? My father raised me. So, of course, a lot of their ways and their values, my father had, right? But with my older cousins, as far as navigating New York, thinking of things in a different light. So, like, let's take the YNs, because I think I need to do a deep dive and figure out who named our youth YNs instead of young gods, right? So my cousins would have I don't know what they feel about YNs, but if this was back in the day, our youth wouldn't be named YNs. They would be named young gods, gods in the earth, stuff like that. So my older cousin used to tell me, don't say I'm hanging in there. Say you standing in there, because who wants to hang, right?
Mhm.
Stuff like that. And the whole, he probably into etymology now that I think about it. But he would also tell me, because in New York, they used to have a lot of stores that sold schmugs, like illegal stores that sold certain things, like before they decriminalized greenery, right? Puff, puff, pass, pass.
Mhm.
And one day I was standing in front of the store. And he was like, move from the store, never stand directly in front of a spot like that. You don't know when they're going to come by and snatch you. Like, my cousin just gave me, all my cousins really gave me, like, these things, ways to move in the street, what to watch out for. And I'm so grateful to them, because they literally cultivated me to know how to move. I say it like this: move in a room full of vultures. So
Mm.
when I see 5%ers on this app and they doing certain things and standing behind certain people, I be like, that ain't, I don't want to put down nobody's belief, but my family didn't move that way. Well, they did beat up people for stepping on their sneakers and shit. Like, I had another cousin, she a female. She would just break a bitch bones. But, when New Yorkers talk, and they tell you about the days that they used to fight. If you were fighting one of us and you tried to jump us, but we jump you first or jump you back, guaranteed you getting an old school beating. So if I say to my friend, you hear something, this bitch need an old school beat down, that means she getting a limb broke. Period. But my cousins, I miss them. They a lot of them left the city. They went to like Texas and Virginia. Um,
Dang, they're not in the city no more?
on my mama's side, I do have a lot of cousins here, but the ones I'm giving the credit to for giving me those life lessons, they left the city. Yeah, the city is really expensive, and I have a feeling that Mayor Man Dummy is going to turn out to be another Brandon Johnson. People in Queens are fussing now because he is talking about if he can't tax the rich, he's touching property taxes that will go up. And I'm just like, you dummies. It's going to take a Republican to get New York in some type of social standing. I don't want to hear about people and their property taxes. You had the opportune time not to vote him into office. It was all well and good when he was saying the immigrants built this city, right? Y'all probably was feeding up. Exactly, Gone World. Gone World says same way they did Chicago. Let me tell you something. Those free supermarkets that or free grocery stores are glorified food pantries. We've always had food pantries. Some gave meat, some gave produce, some gave both. Some even give the children cereal, right? And you knew on a certain day what pantry would have the good stuff, and the line would be around the corner the same way them videos are showing. That's why I made a caption, and I was like, you new New Yorkers are getting on my nerves. All he is doing is renaming shit and modernizing. He's a whole immigrant thinking that that's going, and here goes somebody from New York. OBM Lotus, if you're staying in the room, please comment this. When the mayor said that he's going to give out free supermarkets or whatever, free groceries, and we see a building that says free groceries, but you see the line and you realize all he did was change a food pantry into a free grocery. It's a food pantry. It's a glorified food pantry. We have always had food pantries. I remember going to some place in not Harlem, like Manhattan. It was owned by, well, the white tea people worked in it. You go in, you get your shopping cart, they'll take you to the canned sections. All he did was get a contract or something from some food distributors, probably. And let me tell you who I didn't see all up on the line. Our people. I seen our people at the door though, so they probably, working. But yeah. You going to work or you going home?
Oh, no, no, no.
So
I just about turn on the truck. I'm outside the truck. It's cold a little bit. I about to
uh
hop back in a moment. I had to crack it up.
I just think that the mayor made a lot of these New Yorkers some promises, and that some of our people felt like sitting on the couch meant even for state and local. And no, my people, I got to tell you, state and local really, really, really counts. And when Trump gets mad enough, whatever funding we get from federal, he might take it away, right? I'm not an economist, but I do realize some things. And sometimes the federal punishes the state by withholding funding. But yeah, I just feel that free groceries, that the video was going around, and he's like, "Oh, look at this! Oh, look at that! Oh, look at this!" I said they standing on in the damn food pantry line,
Mm.
and that's how he got in. Why people? I don't know, y'all.
Yeah, he wasn't gonna do nothing special. Uh, like I
Well,
said,
he did something special. He's raising them property taxes out in Queens, and now people are upset. And they have black faces, but I don't necessarily hear my people. So I don't know how concerned I am,
I mean, I
know.
don't know how anybody was gonna trust man Donnie. He already came out lying. The
Right.
first lie will immigrants built America. That was New York. Let me say New York. He didn't say America. He said New York. He said immigrants built New York. Boldface lie. So
Mm-hmm.
anything else he was gonna say wasn't gonna be truthful.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what they expected from him.
Right.
But people have hope, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not hoping in a Democrat. I believe that it's going to take a Republican to restore some bit of cleanliness to New York, some order to New York,
Yeah,
and that's just where I'm at with
yeah.
it.
I feel like people are coming out of the vote blue, no matter who type of mentality. I think our people are realizing that we need to vote for people who gonna do something for us. Not vote for parties, vote for politicians, not vote for parties. So I think our people are realizing the Democrats haven't really done nothing for us. They just so much they so much make spectacles of things. They more so want to identify us with more how we look. Oh, he's black or he an immigrant. That's how they more come about uh getting us to vote for him. I think the Republicans are more so talking about what they can do for the country and what they can do for communities. I think that's why people are seeing more Republicans as a better valuable option.
Yeah, because Republicans should be America first.
Yeah.
I just think that there's no hope for the Democrats. I left the Democratic Party in 2016 though, when it was Trump versus Hillary, and it came out that Hillary was calling our people super predators or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I
Hmm.
ain't gonna say I left in 2016 because I did like Bernie. I did like what Bernie was standing on. But I mean, Bernie is with them too. I mean, Bernie do the same shit. But I was going for Bernie in 2016. The second go around, I was definitely going for Trump.
Yeah,
Even though Trump did win the election in 2016, when it came out to Biden and Trump, I think that's where my transition happened at because I realized Biden ain't shit. He wasn't gonna do nothing for us. And he really disrespected black American people when he said, if you don't what you say, you don't vote for me, then you're not black. I'm like, he's a
but
whole triple K member, allegedly.
hmm What did you think about when he told the so-called black, but I'm not going to say leaders, the black organizational politicians that was there, that Hispanics would be the ones they should fall in line with? That's just me paraphrasing. But remember, he was saying Hispanics were, I think he was insinuating that Hispanics were outpacing us, they were larger than us in numbers, and that our leaders would have, or our representatives would have to look to the Hispanics. You remember that?
I don't remember him saying that, but I'm not doubting he said it. I mean, they, I think they're looking at turnouts. They're looking at votes because a lot of people did not really come out in mass numbers, aside from Obama, for Biden. And I think the Democrat Party is realizing each and every election cycle that our people are voting for them less and less and less. So I think he's realizing the Hispanics are voting more for the Democrats now. It's funny because it used to be flipped. The Hispanics voted Republican, the black people voted Democrat, and now they're voting more Democrat, and we're gonna be voting more Republican. So it's kind of like flipping. But they're trying to save their seat, so of course they're gonna align more with the immigrants because that's who they're fighting for currently.
Right.
It's not a shock to me. I'm just looking at it like they sit down and they talk about things like that. They seen the numbers. Man, it's cold out there. Turn on this heat.
You know the South ain't that cold, like.
It's cold. It's cold tonight. It's like 20. Hold on. What's it? Hold on. Yeah. It's like 25 degrees out here today.
Oh, for real?
For real. Yeah. It get cold in North Carolina. It get real cold out here.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not as cold as New York, of course. We got some warm days. It was warm the past couple of days, but it's cold tonight. I got the heat all cranked up. Yep. But yeah, like I said, our people are waking up slowly but surely. We're realizing that the Democrat Party is not doing nothing for us. They're becoming the party for immigrants.
Mhm. They've been that. We just didn't notice.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know this until like recently in times.
Mm.
I didn't know this. Yeah. Our people are realizing and waking up. It's not gonna be all in one day. It's gonna be brick by brick. And I believe this year, I believe our people have really realized, what the Democrat Party is. A lot of our people have woken up.
Right.
A lot of our people.
Can't find the clip I was looking for. But it was a room full of black, I want to say politicians. And,
What they do?
this is when he was telling them they have to look to the Latinos or work with the Latinos.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at all of them. They ain't say nothing back to him, but they all looked.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be kind of weird because the Latinos and the Black Americans, we don't have the best relationship. The Latinos has always voted kind of opposite of the Black American people, so it's kind of weird they think that we should be voting together because Hispanics issues, Latino issues aren't our issues.
Right.
So I wouldn't know why they would want us to vote alongside them.
No, Biden was telling these politicians and these so called leaders that they had to work
Yeah.
with the Latinos. They weren't saying they were going to, and they all had this look on their face, but ain't nobody talk back to them.
Yeah. About hell. They docile as hell. They should have said something like, I don't know about that one. Because don't because we got literally evidence and proof that literally states that Latino leaders do not want to ally with Black American people. So that's kind of funny he said that to him. And I don't even know no Latino leaders, so I wouldn't even know what the hell they would even want outside of the
Let me
name.
tell you something. Let me tell you something. Nobody else has anything called leader in their ethnic group. Only black people run around talking about black leaders. Have you ever heard of them say that? No, you just said it. You never. Have you ever heard of them say Native American leader? Have you ever heard them say small hat leader? Have you ever? Well, we know who the white tea leader is. It's the system of supremacy. We're the only ones running around talking about some leader like we're children.
Yeah, yeah. So you said that, that is very true. I don't think I don't know no Latino leaders. Mm. That has to be facts. I never heard of a Latino leader since you said that. You right. Mm. Mm. Yeah, we're realizing it. We're realizing. I think our people are realizing and waking up that every group don't operate like our group. Like we shouldn't operate off a leader basis because then one person get the power to really speak for our whole ethnicity, and no one man should have all that power. And that's something I do respect about Tariq because Tariq do not frame himself to be one individual leader. He allows for all of us to have, I ain't gonna say the same power, but we all have say. And I think the framework of not having one individual leader is helping our ethnicity. Because a leader can be corrupted, a leader can be taken down, or a leader can be taken away, you know. But if you have a whole ethnicity, you can't get everybody. But we about to say BX. I seen you went off mute.
Back here trying to find the daggone clip. I really wanted you to hear it. I'm always knocking down the prompt. But I'm going to cue it up for the next slide. I think we need to examine that one again. Because people done bumped their head. And they just sat there looking all crazy. I see Jesse Jackson, not Jesse Jackson, sorry. Al Sharpton at this thing. I think it was what he called the transitioning team, and he was talking to them. I told you it was black leaders because they think Reverend Al Sharpton is a black leader. And when I write my little feedback to AOC and the commissioners of reparations, whoever I'm writing, and Eagles fan says the code is a leader. Eagles fan, please complete your daily heart meet because your badge is gray. It should be like an orange color. So all you got to do is send up one coin after you press the heart. I'm telling everybody. I know I got to go live more often. The code is the leader, but as I was saying, um, Al Sharpton is there. So what he was doing was trying to make when he was going to take office, he was getting tapping into the so-called leaders, and he was telling them they had to work with the Hispanics. And I was trying to find that part, but I don't have it queued up. It just came to me at the end of the moment. Um, and this is why I write everybody. If I'm writing to the government, like the politicians, I tell them Al Sharpton doesn't speak for us. Urban League, NAACP, Tamika Mallory, my son, whoever you, the clergy that nobody ever heard of, not even their congregation. Because they remember there was a time they was putting up, oh, Pastor such and such, he's a black leader. And everybody be like, who the hell is that? Like, we don't know these folks, y'all.
Yeah, yeah. Some of these folks we don't know, and Al Sharpton is definitely not one of our leaders. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, we're the only group of people where they put that on us, and I noticed they have put that on our whole ethnicity. That we have one leader, or we have a few leaders that speak for over just about 50 million Black American people, and that's crazy as hell. Because we don't want to know some of these people agendas, and how do we know this person agenda aligns with the majority of the ethnicity?
Hi, Chris. Your badge is gray. Can you complete your daily heartbeat so it can go back to that orange color? Show that you're active, and I'll try to go live more often. Thank you.
Yeah, you don't go live
Um,
as much.
I be modding, and sometimes I get caught up on panels and stuff. But we really do need this echo chamber, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I saw
yeah.
you on Afro Elite Live, earlier, yesterday.
Uh huh.
And I was seeing kind of a little bit of the back and forth y'all was having. It was real interesting what y'all was talking about. But yeah, I've been noticing you modded for a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I want to stay a part of the conversation, and my room doesn't get high numbers, but at the same time, I realize the importance of rooms like mine. Because I don't allow in my pages lockdown as tight as I could get it. It can get a little tighter because I still have to take people off of my followers list. Um, we want to talk about times like this period in history. Maybe possible steps. We're not going to give out the whole strategy, but I don't want to look down and see a foreign flag in somebody's bio when we're talking about us, our history, or what stage of the game we are up to now. Now, like, I just want to talk to my people, and then I started looking at the one lone Jamaican flag, or the one lone, and it's always a Jamaican flag. I can't even say Haiti. I can't say Trinidad. But it's one lone. Tether Ranger. That's cool, right? I should put on my Power Ranger profile and see who's going to be the Tether Ranger.
Mhm.
It'll be one lone, thank you, Eagle. It'll be one lone Tether Ranger just sitting there watching us and stuff. And I literally be upset because if you want to know why New York is Tetherville, that be the motherfucking reason right there. They come around you, they act like they real nice, they just sit there, don't have nothing really to give. And even then, I don't know, it's a lot of watching going on, not enough action. Like they could literally host their own lives and address the Caribbean. Why they over here with us? That ain't helping us. You
Yeah,
have, isn't that weird?
yeah. I like I said, you went on Afro Elite Laws, and I heard Halo again on that girl about that. Like
Right,
you
and I'm
over
gonna
here
see that.
speaking to us, like that don't do nothing for us. Like we already know these things that you're talking about.
Right.
Y'all need to go over there, start your own lives, go there and talk to your own people about the blatant disrespect. Because that's what we're not seeing. Because
Right.
I stay away from those people. I don't go to their lives. If you got any flag in your bio, or you talking greasy about us, or you one of them people who kind of want to instigate the space, I don't go to your lives. So if you are Haitian, Caribbean, go to your people, speak to your people.
Hmm.
Don't come over here and speak to us about some shit we already know. Like we already know that y'all too comfortable with the disrespect towards us.
And all we doing is educating them for them to either go back to their job if they the agent. Because some people who do that, they remind me of being a cop, y'all. I got to tell you. And I got to tell you too. I used to have a Discord, right? And we got word that there was an agency out in Georgia. Like when we traced the letter, it went back to Georgia, our address in Georgia. And what they do is they have, it's part of the Democrat Party, right? And they had people come sit around foundational Black Americans in certain spaces just to hear what we're talking about and how serious we are. So if that's the Democrats and the Democrats are the party of immigrants, then why wouldn't we expect a foreign melanated flag to just be sitting amongst us and we here educating them?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's true. That's true. You know, I know some of them try to be, I ain't gonna say allies with us, but I have noticed some of them try to come in, and I don't know if they being truthful and real, but it seemed like they tried to be on our side. So that made me think, like, are you really on our side, or are you here just to speak our talking points to get closer to us to see what we're talking about? So I totally get that.
At this stage of the game, I'm just thinking, don't. I'm not saying be mean or anything, but I'm gonna just tell you this. For me, I don't trust them. I don't really trust anybody with a foreign flag. Just right. Eagle said he don't trust them either, and they're just sitting there, watching and listening. And I'm gonna tell you another reason why. So on Shavu's live, bring up the name Sebin, and Shavu might have a fit. So there is a Jamaican lady named Sebin, but now I think she goes by, she might still go by Sebin. She came back, she revamped herself. But we all met on Shavu's Live. And hi, Love Monica. Please complete your daily heart meet. I'm gonna try to go live soon, but you got a gray badge. It's not orange like the rest of us. But Sebin used to be that one lone Jamaican on the panel. She would give a little, oh, but that's not everybody and stuff. But we started noticing we be laughing and joking with Shavu. Well, not me, because I was like auntie, so she wasn't intimidated or threatened by me. But she literally had a problem with the younger, the women like Halo's age, Amara's age. And she was really, really, she just was doing too much, right?
Mhm.
So I kept dropping her one day. And she was like, tell PX if she drops me again, then it's going to get crazy. So, you know me, I ran up in the room and I dropped her again. I said, now get crazy. And all of a sudden, time goes on. She stopped going to Shavu's Live. That ain't my business why. I guess she got tired of Black American women telling her to mind her damn business. This is a Black American space. But she started hanging with the Africans, and they ran her off the app. They was like, we don't like Jamaicans anyway. The woman that was African that she was trying to kind of throw us, thank you, love Monica, throw us behind, the bus for. And I think those are the Africans because Africans doxed Halo first, right? Um, so she got ran off the app. And I'm like, okay, cool. But she was the first one that I didn't agree with or that we had words. She got in my inbox. Just make a prompt saying you don't like Jamaicans. I say, lady, is you dumb? Do you have a life? Can you not come off of a panel and I be the first one you think about? They was weird. So anyway, she hosts panels today. She tries to act like she's neutral and stuff. And before I blocked her, because I was really trying to see if she changed or not. And people change. And I was like, still don't like her. Still don't think she changed. I just think she's trying to reinvent herself. And I blocked her. So I don't see what's on her page. I just find that some of the Caribbean are Sebins. And we're there educating them, but they don't really agree with us anyway. Now, I can't say that she didn't take whatever advice, like go ahead, start your own platform, educate your people. Because I seen her, she started the platform. She tries to hold what she thinks is a neutral space, but I have scrolled by and seen them literally saying, we got wearing gold chains from them, we got hip hop from them, we got this, we got that, we got this and the third from them. And she got New York Caribbean up there lying and regurgitating my talking points. If you watched earlier for the culture uploads from Afro Elite, I tell you what real New York culture is. And I dragged one of her people and told her what it was. And she was over there remixing it on Sebin's Live. And I said, these dirty motherfuckers. And I blocked them because you know what? It's annoying. It's aggravating. In real life, they're not going to fight me. All my family is here. They gotta fly theirs in. My in-laws could tell you, what you said? I'll cut you. What? Who you talk? Like I'm that type of person, right? Don't piss me off. I'm really quiet, but when you do so in real life, I was just like, I'm older. I can't do this shit. I block them. But there's some Caribbean that will never fall in line with us, and I think that we actually educate the ones who are in our rooms all the time. Now, there's a Trinidadian who I haven't seen around that much. Sometimes I wonder if they come, they get the information, they go back to their handlers, and they'll disappear and come back in 6 months' time. Watch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I seen one literally talk about lawyers and stuff like that. It's like, who are you
What
people
kind of
talking?
lawyer?
I don't know. I remember one time on KD Live, he was talking to this one woman. She was acting like she was part of like a law firm or something like that. But she was just,
Does she have it in her name?
I forget.
Does she have like what they call it, Esquire or something? What
Yeah, it was
did
like
she have?
it was something like with a Q. Like,
And she was a Jamaican.
I don't know what she was. I can't remember what she was. She was like,
Because I
I knew
used
she
to
was light
argue with
skinned,
one.
or she looked like light skinned to me.
And does she have brown, like blonde hair?
Something like that, yeah.
I used to argue with her so much on King Vegeta's live. She told me I was a problem. I said, "You motherfucking right, I'm a problem. Damn it." She couldn't just say anything to me,
Yeah.
especially not act like her people so righteous. Like I literally tell people from other demographics. No, I think the lady was Jamaican. The one I'm talking about is Jamaican, Caribbean. But I usually tell other demographics, I'm from New York. I know the good, the bad, the ugly, and the mediocre of your ethnic group. You ain't gonna be able to pull one over on me. Now, do I know everything about their home nation? No. But I know enough to tell you they ain't genuine, they ain't serious, they really don't want to help. Because if I tell you, go tell your people like Halo did today, and that's because we've been on this app so long, we're tired of them always sitting around us and never over the can never catch them over there hosting a live or addressing their own people. Can't really catch that. But we could catch them under us when we talking, laughing, or complaining about things. Who sent them?
Yeah. Another person I feel like who might be agent is that Wade guy. The dude with the Jamaican flag.
Bingo.
I think Wade is his name. I think that's his name. Yeah, Wade.
Yeah. I
WADE.
think I think he's the male C Ben.
Yeah, 'cause I seen him, he hop on and he say stuff that make you think like, oh, he along with us, but I just don't. It's something that's just off to me. I don't interact with
Look at
him,
his.
but I just think something off.
I want you to look at. Okay, remember what you told me you want to be, right,
Mhm.
earlier. And I want you to look at his profile picture with that in mind and tell me. I don't know if you know, like, but in New York they do like hand to hand, meaning that's how they catch you selling the product, so they can lock you up.
Mm-hmm.
Something about his profile picture reminds me of an undercover.
Mm. Yeah, he definitely give undercover.
Right.
It just
Right.
about it is something
This is
about
what
him.
we
This is the photo, the way he look. I'm like, he look like he look like one of them guys to me. Like you just look like one of them people who you do one like you said, one of them hand to hands, and next thing you know, the police running. You know, what I'm saying the folks running you down or
Mm-hmm.
pulling up to your
But I don't
house.
know any other Caribbean that stays around us like that. Could it be that he's just a sore thumb?
Maybe, maybe. I just don't know. I don't trust no Caribbean. I just don't see what's the unifying point between us and y'all. If the whole point is delineation, and if you're really down with delineation, then you should be going to your people saying, we need to leave these people alone. We need to stay away, stay off their lives. We need to hold our people accountable. Why aren't you in your own space?
I don't know, but Love Onika, remember Sebin? You go to her lives? Is Love Onika still in the room?
I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, she's still in the room. She might be doing something right now.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah, so he reminds me of the female Sebin. Okay. So do you know Wade, the lone Jamaican that's always under or in our rooms with the Jamaican flag? Right. Do you think does Wade remind you of Sebin just in the male version? Always around us. Right. She said yes. So even if he's not like an agent, he's just really weird. If he's not an undercover, he's just really weird.
Mm-hmm.
Does he even go on a Caribbean line? Like, does he have any Caribbean friends? And he even said to me once, BX, I want to help, but I don't know what to do. I said, you got a whole page. Go start a live. He ain't start one yet. And address your people. I told him, address your people. But all I know is like my families. I said, well, go start a live. You on TikTok. What the fuck you talking to me for? Go start a live. He ain't do it yet. Then I was arguing with Revenue, and I look in the chat, and he's like, oh, Revenue's here? LOL. But he did that twice, and I had to tell myself, hold up. He said he wanted to help. I told him to start a live. He didn't start the live yet. I'm arguing with Revenue. This would be the perfect opportunity to show me something. Get up here and tell Revenue that he doing too much. He ain't do that. But here's the kicker. After the first time I met Wade, I said, I don't know about you, but okay, I'll give you a chance. I noticed he had a Jamaican flag. We talked. He told me about his life in New York, Brooklyn, of course. So already, ding, 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 Brooklyn is gentrified by the Caribbean. So I don't automatic points off, right? Because you do know melanated immigration harms the foundation of Black American communities. They displace us and trigger for white tea people to come in our areas. So and y'all could go research that on your own. So then I see somebody saying, put that flag back in your bio. So I looked and Wade didn't have the flag in his bio. So then I was like, wait a minute. And I watched him for a few days. He didn't have the flag in his bio. So finally I said, hey, I'm acting like my writing is words, right? I'm a writer, so of course I write like that. I said, hey, where's your flag at? He told me that it was so hostile in some rooms that he went in, he took the flag out. And I was like, I don't care. I know you're Jamaican. You had the flag before. If you keep coming in our areas, our rooms, make sure you have that flag in your bio or I'm going to call you out every time. We need to know who you are. But now that I'm thinking about it, that's really weird. People are being hostile to you, so you take your flag out instead of just leave. Do you know I don't go to Mama Africa's live? I don't go to Kira's live. I don't go to whoever has been like a Pan African that disrespectful to Black Americans.
Damn, I never knew he took his flag out. Okay.
Yes, we made him. I made him put it back, but I wasn't the only Black American that called him out. So he put it back. But listen to what I'm thinking about now. The room is so hostile to you because you have a Jamaican flag that you decide to just take your flag out so you could still be under us?
Mm.
Why?
Almost like you're
What
trying
is
to
so
blend
important?
in.
Right. So now, even though I started blocking him from rooms and stuff, some rooms I can't block him from, right? But there's some rooms I just block automatic. You got to go. But other hosts and stuff be like, no BX, it's all right. But I'm just looking at us educating this person, and I'm coming from a time that I know C Ben.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
even
and,
Love Juanita
and,
said
and
he
how
was
long do you
good.
need to be in our space to know where our talking points are? It don't change. We all say practically damn near the same thing.
But listen to what Lavonica says. Let's go to the troll now. The bigger troll, the bright and boasty troll. Revenue was on a Caribbean live and they questioned him and said Revenue wasn't Jamaican and kicked him. Do you know what? Do you remember some of the questions, Nika? So I got to tell you, Revenue is a scammer. I looked at his page. I was like, oh, he's a scammer. And do you know what he called me? He called me a snitch. And then shortly after that, I got a violation. That man reported me. I guess for misinformation, and I had to sit in the chat for 10 minutes. But that's because he was losing the debate anyway. He's what parish he comes from. Oh, and what hospital he was born. Okay. But I don't believe that he was born in Jamaica. I thought he was born here. But even if he was born here, he should know his parish. Now, my children, they're going to be like, parish. You know, they ain't really going to know. They, by ethics, you know, and they were raised here. So they ain't going to know the parish. The by ethnics, I might have gave an excuse to, but he's like a full Jamaican.
Mm.
So he should know the parish. Mm-hmm. He answered wrong. Yeah. So hold on. They be giving vibe and lineage checks, but when we do it to them, we are trying to break up the black race. Did they just vibe check people? That's hilarious. Tell them to do it to Wade, please. I want to know. I want to know if Wade is a liar or not. But I believe Wade is Jamaican. He just looks like a cop and he moves like a cop, and I just don't understand after me dealing with Sebin why Wade is reminding me of Sebin. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at with it.
I mean, if you're 12 and nothing wrong with it, it's only when you try to be sneaky. Like,
Hmm.
let us know what you want.
Yeah.
That's you. You know, some people who let you know, hey, this is me right here with the whoop. But as you over here try to be undercover, people gonna
Hi,
find out.
Salani. Please complete your daily heartbeat. Your badge is gray, and it should be orange or brown like Love Onika's. And I plan to keep going live more regularly. And you're not the only one. I just told Love Onika the same thing.
I think BS, we ever get sleep. You sound like you up 24/7.
I do get sleep. I really do. Today I couldn't sleep. My child does start a new job, and I'm like, I don't want to fall asleep. I'm gonna see him out the door. He's a grown man, but he's my child. I want to see him out the door, and then I want to lay down and go to sleep. But I do sleep. I sleep probably when you're sleeping. Don't you still work nights?
Yeah, I sleep. Yeah, I'm working right now. You know, I get on. I be up for at least a
Mm,
couple more hours and then I fall asleep. I usually start sleep around 10 o'clock,
mm-hmm, uh-huh,
10 a.m. Typically, I get up around like I try to get up around like 4, 5 o'clock.
right.
I try to get sleep.
Don't be trying to do me like that. Sometimes I log off at 12 a.m. and I sleep, but I'm older, right? And I find that I'm sleeping like an elderly person. You know, with the old folks, your granny can only sleep for 4 hours, then they up toiling around and bothering the family or saying their prayers, making breakfast. That's the stage of my life I'm in now. And I think that's because I'm not as active. I'm really not moving around my city. I'm really disgusted with my city. And I don't like the cold. But Salani, if you're still in the room, can you tell me if Wade reminds you of Sebin? That's who I could ask too. I swear, I don't know why people don't see what I see, but they ain't met Sebin. Same here, 54C Eagles fan. Uh-huh. You just waking up, right? Because it's 5:16 Eastern Standard Time, and you was off. You see it, love Onika. Thank you, thank you. I just don't want people to think I'm hating, but I thank you, Eagles. Um, I want y'all to know this is coming from a place of experience when I speak on Wade and not keeping him in our rooms. Mhm. It's coming from a place of experience. Yep. Hmm. What you doing up, love Onika? Do you sleep, love Onika? But oh, you're working. That's right, you're a nurse. Yeah. You remind me of Nursing Rocks. Oh, you went to bed at 8? I only get 4 hours of sleep. I literally do. By 4 hours. I'd be surprised if I go to bed at 12 and wake up at 7 in the morning. I'm truly surprised. But I kind of want to I did mention the trending topics or trending current events for foundational Black Americans, and they brought up the Black recession, rising unemployment, and the wealth gap between Black Americans and white tea people. But when I asked if, I hate when my computer does this, it goes to sleep and then I gotta read into my password sometimes. If Black immigrants was in our stats, it says yes. And I just want to read the resource to you. And it says impact of immigration on statistics. Integrated data. Reports indicate that economic data for Black Americans in national statistics, such as those from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, right, includes both U.S. born Black Americans and Black immigrants. And then it goes on to say immigration's role in labor trends. While recent 2025 through 2026 data shows a slowdown in overall immigration, long-term trends show that on average a 10% increase in immigrants within a specific skill group has historically resulted in a 3.6% decline in wages for Black Americans. Diverse outcomes. The influx of immigrants can sometimes crowd out low skilled local workers while simultaneously increasing demand for local services in specific areas, though the overall Black recession is primarily driven by macro policy shifts, according to the Joint Center. Other trending things: attacks on DEI. The removal of diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives is cited as a factor in the sharp rise in Black unemployment. Financial vulnerability. The dismantling of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and shifts in digital asset regulation have left Black communities more vulnerable to predatory lending. Black History Month 2026. Trending local events are focusing on the history of the Black vote, the impact of the federal policy on Black economic stability, and the 2026 State of the Dream report from the Joint Center. So we got to get them out. So when they say the Black unemployment rate is rising, they make it seem like it's only foundational Black Americans, but as you can see, Black immigrants are also in our statistics, and they drive down our wages. It's time to get them out of our box. And I'm so glad that uh, Googled. My Google was trending current events for Black Americans in February 2026. And this is for the people entering the room because I already told prime time. And thank you, country. I see you. Please do your daily heartbeat. And what came up, which surprised me when it came up, was the economic crisis, the Black recession, rising unemployment, a state of the dream 2026. Report highlights that Black unemployment reached 7.5% by December 2025, nearly double the white tea unemployment rate of 3.8%. But something told me Google and see if the air quotes Black immigrants are in our statistics. And that's why I read this part here, because I'm about to end, and I brought that up in the beginning, so I just wanted to, close that window period. I didn't want to leave it open. I wanted to really touch on that. And this is all my contribution to National Black History. Um, are you telling me that, or are you asking me so that I could look Eagles? So Eagle says that doesn't include black business owners data. It didn't say anything about black business owners. It was black unemployment. Are you asking? Let me ask, just to be sure. I don't want to assume. I'm not an economist, but I do try, y'all. You know, together we'll figure this out. Does statistics given above include black businesses? Black, I'm going to put owned businesses. The statistics for total national wealth and household wealth do include the valuation of business equity, but the black recession, which I just talked about, of 2026 has hit black-owned businesses in specific ways that the general unemployment numbers don't fully capture. I'm going to give you a few of what those are. Here is how business ownership factors into those 2026 figures. It says one, business equity in the wealth gap. When we look at the 5.71 trillion in total wealth held by Black Americans, a portion of that is business equity. However, there is a massive disparity in how much business ownership contributes to wealth. Concentration, only about 5% to 7% of Black households own a business with employees compared to roughly 15% of white households. Valuation. YT-owned businesses are often valued significantly higher due to better access to venture capital and commercial credit. In the 2025 through 2026 economic climate, Black business owners reported a 40% higher rate of loan denial than YT business owners with similar credit profiles. Now, here is the self-employment buffer. And it says the unemployment rate currently 7.2% to 7.2% to 7.5% for Black Americans, often hides underemployment. Many Black Americans who lost corporate or federal jobs in 2025 turned to solopreneurship or the gig economy. Because these individuals are technically employed, in parentheses it says self-employed, they aren't counted in the unemployment spike. However, these micro businesses often have lower margins. A 2026 study found that Black-owned firms are 3 times more likely to be classified as financially discouraged, meaning they have stopped seeking traditional credit because they expect to be denied. Oh, okay, so I don't see any more questions, but let me say this. Impact of Black immigrants on business ownership. This is what we really need to know too, right? And then I'll finish it after here and I'll let y'all go. But listen, if you haven't done your daily heart me, please do your daily heart me. I also have a gift goal. One is roses and one is the double hand heart or some mess like that. It's a pretty mess though. That's why I chose it. But listen, impact of Black immigrant business ownership. Black immigrants are a major driver of the business statistics included in the Black American category. Is we serious? Higher entrepreneurship rates. Black immigrants are more likely to start businesses than U.S. born Black Americans. I argue that it's because we've been geared during modern time to go into corporate. You're welcome, Eagles. And let me continue. The immigrant statistical lift. Because Black immigrants often have higher rates of business ownership and higher median household incomes, they lift the overall Black statistical average. The reality, if you were to separate U.S.-born Black Americans, descendants of the enslaved, from Black immigrants, the wealth gap and the Black recession metrics for the U.S.-born group would likely appear even more severe. Now, I'm going to enter Yvette Clarke into the conversation. Because I don't like the way this is worded. We aren't accurately counted or given the proper resources because the Caribbean could fly under the black banner. Yes, this is why doing research on people like Yvette Clarke is very important. So in 2009, right? 2009, 2010, Yvette Clarke, a Jamaican who sits on a record number of caucuses. One, she's in charge of the CBC, Congressional Black Caucus. She's also co-chair for the Caribbean Caucus. She's also the co-chair or chair of the Haitian Caucus. Yvette Clarke authored a bill in 2009 through 2010 that gave the Caribbean their own box. They delineated first. She authored the bill and it didn't pass as a standalone, but it passed, right? And her reasoning was because she wanted her people to be visible in the black banner, but she wanted them to be accurately funded. Now, when the U.S. freedmen asked her for support for a delineation bill, she's completely silent. She has won funding to stimulate Haiti and also won funding for the Caribbean. For Black Americans, she hasn't secured funding for us, but she supports and has gotten the H.R. 40 bill advanced, and it's the first time it advanced since 1989. But because they use the term African American, it isn't specific to foundational Black Americans. That means because Yvette Clarke is also identified as an African American, Roland Martin, so on and so forth. What she has gotten for us is Juneteenth. This is no disrespect to the ancestors. We've always been celebrating Juneteenth, some later than others because I haven't always known about Juneteenth my whole life. But when I found out, I jumped into celebrating and venerating them. Texas, however, is a different story. They've been celebrating since 1866. They have their traditions they don't want nobody to know about, especially my tale here in New York because the Caribbean has been appropriating that. But she sponsored the Juneteenth bill to make it a federal holiday. How do we benefit off of a federal holiday? She advocated for Harriet Tubman to be on currency. How do we benefit from Harriet Tubman being on currency? Do we want any more street signs, holidays, statues, coins, stamps? Do we want any of that? Do our ancestors want any of that? Or would they rather we have reparations or bills with funding just for us? Yvette Clarke has gotten her tail, and her mother was in a seat first, so she basically is an inheritant of a Jamaican woman who was in Congress first, right? On these caucuses and stuff. So their people, look at Westmore, no to Maryland's reparation study. Look at Brian Donalds. I won't advocate for y'all because my people wouldn't get it. These are the things that Black Americans are facing. And so, yes, the Caribbean is saying they're Black or have Black-owned businesses while getting things for being specifically Caribbean. I didn't go into the banks and stuff, but I would go into saying yes equals you're correct, right? And then with DEI, who benefited the most? White teen women. Now, if Caribbeans and Africans and Haitians and even some Latinos are identifying as Black, how do we know we benefited of the 3% of Black people that got DEI? We need things specifically lineage-based, but Yvette Clarke is on a record number of memberships for caucuses. That's how many caucuses she is on, because she's not only on the CBC, she's not only on the Haitian caucus, she's not only on the Caribbean caucus, she's on a whole bunch of other caucuses, one for algorithmic intelligence or some mess, dealing with the AI situation, one for smart city. It's a whole bunch of stuff. progressive for the caucus for progressives for black women and girls. Like she's on all these things that are labeled black, calling herself African American or of African American descent. Meanwhile, she's authoring bills that get Haiti and the Caribbean specific funding and being quiet when our freedmen are asking her to do the same for us. Hey, Nunu, your badge is gray. Can you send up a coin and do your daily heart meet to get you back in orange standing? And I'm promising to go live more often. Thank you for the likes. This is ludicrous to me, y'all. So there's a reason God led me this way. So y'all can hear some of the things that we're going through. We're going through it so much, and I'm glad I know how to ask the right questions and right, do the other groups claiming to be us, or as they say, we're black too. And that the economic crisis caught my eye and my Google search term was trending current events for Black Americans in February 2026. I implore y'all to do your own research. My research can only get us but so far. As you can see, Eagles asked a very good question. He said, just so y'all hear, let me read. So we have no funding, no representation, high credit denial from banks. I would agree with that, right? Remember, Bank of America recently was discriminating, even, or was it Navy? What is it? Navy Federal? Were denying Black Americans who were qualified. They were discriminating. And then Eagles goes on to say, due to other groups claiming to be us. New Arrow says, hey. The New Arrow says they are only black when it's convenient. Correct. I don't know who's Chosen. Do y'all know Chosen? I got to check his page because I don't know. I don't remember him. Before I made my page private, I did have an open page, and so I've been clearing a lot of people out. Some people have been requesting as if they were never on my page. I don't trust them at all if I don't let them back on my page, y'all. I don't, because I'm not going to do the whole don't call yourself black thing. I don't want to hear FBA is crazy or stupid on my own damn panel. So I can't trust nobody. What you over here for? You going to go back and talk about me? Like, I don't trust nobody right now. Everybody on my page is meant to be here. What happened? So New Era says, Deja said that foreign blacks, U.S. Black Americans, as a credit card in America. Wait, Deja said that foreign blacks have use Black Americans as a credit card in America. Yeah. But here's my thing. If they could be Caribbean, immigrant, and also black, who are we? Or Black American, who are we? We don't have an ethnic group defined specifically for us unless we use U.S. freedmen. And Yvette Clarke is silent when we say Black American because she knows it's us. Black when she knows it's us. She's silent when we say U.S. freedmen. But she ain't silent to say she don't agree that 76% of us are in alignment with the SAVE Act. Why? Yvette Clarke openly sits on panels or, announcements and say that she needs more immigrants into her district. Why? To keep her seat. Of course, she ain't going to agree with the SAVE Act because if her people can't vote, the immigrants, then she ain't going to keep that seat and she ain't going to get to monopolize much anymore. And maybe we'll have a shot at some fairness. But she's scamming. I'm going to say allegedly, But that's what it sounds like to me. That's my theory. But she's getting incentives, tangibles for her people. Prime time, what you think?
Oh, I mean, people like that are snakes. I mean, she wanna benefit off us and benefit off being immigrant. She double dipping. So I can't respect anybody who's double dipping on that type of level. Because you are getting elected and in position of power, you supposed to be representing the people that you say you descend from. And you descend from the Black American people. I'm not saying that you should solely just care about Black American people, but we're a top priority. And we're not your top priority, that's fine. Allow your constituents to vote for people who are in best of their who are in position to be best elected for their position, because we got too many Caribbeans, we got too many Africans, we got too many of these people saying that they're Black, and they're going out here getting these positions of power and doing nothing for Black people. We have, and
Exactly.
they know that we wouldn't vote for them if they said I'm Haitian. They know that we wouldn't vote for them. They're saying I'm Jamaican or I'm African, because they know our people would vote for people who are of the same, about the same lineage.
Ancestry.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I just feel like people like that are trying to double dip. They want to have our vote and have the immigrants vote. The only difference is they're not doing nothing for Black American people and doing only something for the immigrants. If you're out here representing for the immigrants, that's fine, that's dandy. Represent for them. But do not cosplay and come into these spaces and try to gain our vote and say that we're all Black so you and your people can benefit. Because recently in time, we haven't been going by flat blackness. We've been going by skin and not necessarily your lineage and who you are. So I believe that that's a very dangerous game that lady is playing, and she trying to play in our face.
Now,
I, I'm
listen to,
not I'm not a proponent of that. Go ahead.
right. So, Eagles fan says they're all benefiting by using our identity. The erasure is real. Look at the numbers. New Era says it's the same thing with that Libyan guy using Essence Fest to finance West African governments. Now, y'all are from the South. New, I think it's from the West Coast, but he has ties to the South, right? Going World just entered the chat. I believe he's in the South, although from Chicago. Um, Listen to this. Our black farmers who have, our families have had farms taken from them, land taken from them. A lot of things happen to our black farmers. They are locked out of a lot of things. They had to fight for funding. Why does Caribbean farmers get to appropriate our history, right? And get whatever our black farmers are getting or fighting for? They're latching on to our civil rights fights, y'all. And y'all could really research that on your own, but trust me, if it says black farmers, right? Because I looked it up earlier. I'm sorry, I just gave myself a headache, y'all. I really did. Going worse said because they're tethers. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. I don't want to leave this open in this. Okay. It's like it's so unfair to us. Let me see.
Yeah, I step in. I mean, we're not asking for nothing too crazy. The only thing we're asking for is transparency. Just be honest. If you got an immigrant background, just say you got immigrant background and your priority isn't Black American people. But don't sit right here and trying to act like your priority is of the whole Black diaspora, because it's not. A lot of these people interest is only for their specific ethnicity. But
Okay. I'm sorry, go ahead, and then I'll read what I pulled up.
I mean, yeah, I just land right there. Like I say, don't. I just don't like the lying. It's like if you are an immigrant, got immigrant background, that's who you are. You're looking out for Haitians. You're looking out for Jamaicans. You're looking out for Nigerians. You're looking out for these immigrants who coming into America. That's fine, but don't use about policies, programs, and even the civil rights that we fought for to benefit you. That's why I don't respect. Because if you don't about just be real, like I said, I was asking them to be real, and that's the thing. A lot of these folks can't be real. A lot of these folks know our people ain't going for it, and and that's why they do the things they do.
Right.
Go ahead, VX. My bad.
So Gornworld says because they're tethers. He also says they take, and take no matter who it hurts. They can't be transparent because they are scammers. Maybe they're signing deals to keep us out. Gornworld says we've been too nice and the boomers set us. Set us what? They set us up? Is that what you're saying, Gornworld? Oh. Okay, so listen. My search term: do Black immigrants benefit off of the Black American struggle and wins when Black farmers fight for fairness? Excuse me. Then it says in early 2026, the relationship between Black immigrants and U.S. born Black Americans, descendants of the enslaved, is a central topic in economic justice discussions. Black immigrants do benefit from the systemic victories of Black Americans, such as civil rights protections and affirmative action. Here we go. But they also face unique economic double disadvantage and are sometimes viewed by U.S. Black born Americans as that's a damn lie. Okay, but this is what the resource states. Benefits from Black American advocacy. If they benefiting from everything we do, and we see Yvette Clarke up there getting bills authored just for them, but not even advocating for us, who is the true competitor? We're not viewing them as a competitor. She's viewing us as a competitor, and that's why she's giving her people a head start or a handout, a hand up, a leg up. Does that make sense? We ain't doing that to them. Okay. I don't want to get on my soul. This is why I can't make videos, y'all. Y'all should have heard. I got videos I have to do about Yvette Clarke, and I just get to cussing, y'all. I got to really calm down. So anyway, benefits from Black American advocacy. Black Americans have historically led the fight to push the U.S. to uphold its promises, and many of the rights enjoyed by new arrivals today are a direct result of those struggles. Civil rights and legal protections. Black immigrants benefit from anti discrimination laws and racial justice frameworks established by the civil rights movement. Organizations like the Black Alliance for Just Immigration explicitly connect the struggle against racism and economic disenfranchisement faced by both immigrants and U.S. born Black Americans. Let me read this name again. Black Alliance for Just Immigration. Black Alliance for Just Immigration latches on to our civil rights. Um, Gornwell says, where is that be located? What jurisdiction? I gotta click on it. How and New Eros asks, how are they experiencing racism when they tell us that we talk about race too much here? New Eros also says they undermine us intentionally. That's what Yvette Clarke is doing. They should show what those disadvantages are. What are those disadvantages? New Eros also say, yeah, that's a lie. When I said that, they say Black Americans view them as competition. I'm sorry. Gone World says we must vote her out immediately. Yes, we have to. Let me see. What else they have? They have affirmative action, safety nets and inclusions. Here we go. It's based off the same question I told you I asked. Cities with immigrant-friendly policies often show better socioeconomic integration for Black immigrants. In these areas, they may have better access to a safety net than in states with less inclusive programs. Challenges for Black farmers in 2026. The struggle for fairness among Black farmers has become even more critical due to recent policy shifts. They're saying tariff turmoils, reduced support. In early 2026, many Black farmers expressed frustration over a lack of resources for emergency loans. Some small Black-owned farms have been forced to shut down due to the combined pressure of tariffs and systemic discrimination. Agricultural labor shifts. While some new immigrants have agricultural backgrounds, few have become U.S. farm workers, instead seeking year-round non-farm jobs in cities. Mass deportation efforts in mid-2025 further destabilized the agricultural workforce, directly impacting food production. Then economic competition and differences. Despite shared racial experiences, we don't have shared racial experiences. Significant economic differences persist between these two groups because they lock us out of shit. The Black immigrant paradox. I got a cough. 1 minute. I'll be back. I got to mute. Hi, Will. So, the Black immigrant paradox. While Black immigrants, particularly those from Africa, often have higher educational attainment than I want to throw this computer. Often have higher educational attainment than U.S.-born Black Americans, they are about 50% more likely to live in poverty. They are often forced into lower-level occupations such as security or dishwashing, even when they hold STEM degrees. And we know their degrees some of them were bought. Fake. The statistical list. Second-generation Black immigrants are seeing remarkable earnings advances, narrowing the racial earnings gap in ways native-born Black Americans are not. Black American perspectives. Long-term research shows that while Black Americans are more supportive of immigrant rights than white Americans when it comes to fighting injustice, they are also more fearful of the negative economic effects immigration may have on their own job opportunities. Yes, go home and build your homeland. Period, point blank. So I don't think, love you too well, I don't think that there's not enough money to go around. I think that when they're manipulative and they, like Yvette Clarke is doing, not giving us the same opportunities that we fought to have. We rightfully fought to have a lot of things. But she's in office, and y'all double check me, fact check me, as Coach would say. And everything you heard here, go do your own research and come back to me and tell me if you still agree or if you found something different, even if it's something different that we could build on, right? Because here's my thing. If they came here and had to monopolize certain industries, we never thought they would be able to do that or do that to us. How did Yvette Clarke get in office if we are over 50 million strong? We outnumber her people. Does that make sense? Like we literally felt they were marginalized like us, right? We treated them as if they were marginalized like us. But they're getting into offices, and now some type of alarm went off that these melanated immigrants feel so emboldened and like nothing won't happen to them when they say, no, I ain't gonna do nothing just for black people. Or, no, well, my mother's Jamaican, my father's Panamanian. I may have it wrong. But since my people went and get it, and there's so many black people here, then no, I won't advocate for them to have reparations. When somebody says we don't need another study, votes no for just foundational black American reparations, but then want to talk about people of color. So his Caribbean people could latch on, whatever it looks like. For the people showing up in New York, Chicago, Atlanta, and all these other places, Detroit also have reparations hearings. And you know your ancestors ain't putting work on this land. You can't hear the 1870 census, but you think you should get reparations? They do, and your representative is authoring bills, a delineation bill for you since 2009. And we still ain't get a delineation bill, but we, the HATE group, what are we locking them out of? If they all up in our HBCUs, if they all up in our healthcare, if they all up in our politics, what did we lock them out of? What are we competing for? I argue that we voted them in under the false belief, right? Because the belief really turned out to be wrong, that they would treat us the way that we would treat them. And that's what fairness, and that's what sharing everything, meaning resources. Who would have thought there was a Jamaican Chamber of Commerce and a Haitian Chamber of Commerce? And they could still come over into our whatever pots we have and get business funding. So when they say 3% of black Americans or black people benefited from DEI, was it of the lineage or was it them other folks, them off-brand black people? She does have to get voted out because she's on the New York caucus too, if not mistaken. I'm surprised she ain't sitting her ass there at the reparations committee hearing. But I guess she got bigger fish to fry, trying to help the Haitians hide themselves, their assets, and their children, because they damn sure was saying some stuff in that town hall call. They ain't send me another link yet. I'm going to go search for one to see if they hosted any more town hall calls. So I can say, so New Era says they are bold because they got their numbers up in our government institutions. Correct. We got to come to some type of agreement here, some code that melanated folks going to an HBCU don't make them black, or that they have the black experience. To have the black experience, you literally have to have a black parent, two black parents. Like, let's stop. They can't, not from Jamaica, not from Trinidad. You got to have a foundational black American presence in your household, or you're not having a black experience. You are having a Caribbean immigrant experience in America. You are having an African, whether you're Nigerian, Ghanaian, experience, immigrant experience here in America. You ain't having a black experience. Destiny swap. I think that, I get frustrated because it looks like they're winning, but I always remember ill-gotten gains won't last too long. And that's why you could look in New York and see that many of them, from what I hear, are now starting or at risk of losing their brownstones or their houses. So Eagle said they played on our emotions, skin color, to get in place to activate a plan against us. That's crazy to me. But I agree, but it's just crazy because I tell you, I never heard of a destiny swap until about maybe I first came on this app and started going live. And I think I've been going live for over a year now. Going World says they're not winning. I'm in New York, Going World. I don't want to say that they're winning. I find it really hard to find certain things that I'm in need of. I just thank God that my children are employed. But for me and my credentials, it's a lot of Spanish preferred. It's a lot of favoritism. I'm doing a lot of praying though, and I gotta tell you, my financial constraints aren't as tight as when Biden and Harris was in office. I breathe a lot better now, but I want to breathe some more. I want to be able to take a vacation if I need it. I got a passport. I just ain't taking my ass nowhere. at this time, but I want to. Um, I need a break. I need a break. I need a break. I need to unplug from this here internet for a while because I don't know how much longer I can hear. Your ancestors ain't doing nothing. Y'all are just slave babies. Look at the hood. Look at your children. Look at this. What about the blood in the crips? What about Chicago? Like, I'm tired of them. And if I'm not in their spaces, why do I hear this every day? That means they coming in to harvest our energy and they need our attention, whether good or bad. I don't go in Caribbean and African lives and stuff. And when a new platform comes to my attention, because I do scroll just to keep up with a little bit of the times and see what people are talking about, I'm in the hallway, just watching. So Gornworth says they're not winning. No. The ancestors are waking us up. Uh, Going Well says they are projecting. Eagles fan says we decided not to vacate with everything going on. Okay, that yeah, but I could go to Miami or something. Well, give me a nice beach I could go to in America, not New York. New York. Mm-mm. I don't even want to go to Jersey or Philly or none of that. I want to leave like the North and go somewhere nice. Going Well, they projecting. I do want to go to the casino though. I want to go to like Mohegan
But,
Sun or something.
but I can say this, but yeah, nah, they ain't winning. It would have a whole, like I said, it is a long, drawn out battle. That's how I feel about it. But no, the Caribbeans and Africans are not winning against the Black American people because at the end of the day,
No,
we are in the righteousness. We the most righteous group. We never wanted to hurt or harm anybody. If anything, we fought for them to be here. And like I said, we're not stopping them from coming to America. We don't care they come to America. The only thing we saying is don't lie to us. Don't play.
not don't
Don't.
lie to us, don't snake us. Like
Mhm.
they ain't never got to tell me what they are, but don't you get in that government and start writing bills only for the people that you are? Because I don't plan to meet or be around any of them too much.
Yep. Yep.
So I'm gonna read these couple of comments and then I'm gonna go ahead and shut down. I got a headache now. I just want to relax.
You got a headache,
New ever,
dang. I don't know. You got a headache. You over here
yeah,
thinking that?
yeah, huh?
Is he over here talking that truth? Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, because I need action. I don't need just talk. I don't need just to see Wade's Jamaican flag. I need him on these panels addressing his people, telling, I don't need them in our circumference if they ain't helping bring a solution. Him being here listening ain't a solution to me. So, New Eros and people like him, not to just single him out, but I'm pretty sure there's another FBA room that has another foreigner in there that think they should just sit there and listen. Um, so New Eros says the Bloods are Afro Latino in California. I thought what are the Belizeans? You got some Belizeans out there too. New Eros also says they can't win because we outnumber them. That's true. That's true. Eagles fan says we can't be losing a race that we never thought we were in. I'm with you on that. Going world, they
That's
don't
truth
have
right
the
there. That's
sauce or
facts.
the recipe, huh?
I said that's facts. What he just said. You can't be losing a
That's
race we never thought we was in.
right.
Never
That's
knew.
it. But we the best comeback kids that are. We warned them before it don't bother us, and now we got to show them better than we could tell.
Uh-huh.
That, but you know what it is for me? The rabbit hole keeps getting deeper. Every time I host this live and I look up something, I have my trusty computer. Then it's like, damn, really? And I start thinking, well, what about the black farmers? They just want a settlement. Will the immigrants benefit off of the black farmers settlement?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And then New Arrow says, and stop stealing from us. And New Arrows also says, oh, the Belizeans are Latino. But I want to read Gornwell's statement once again. But go ahead, give your final word, FBA Prime Time.
On my follow testimony.
Yes.
Like brother said,
Submission. Say submission,
su-
not testimony. We're not in the court of law.
sorry, submission.
It's
Sorry, my bad.
mhm.
Uh, like the brother said, you can't lose something that we were never a part of. Like I said, we're the best
Mm-mm.
comeback kids they are. We stood 10 toes down on this land, on this soil. And at the end of the
Most
day, we're going to stand 10 toes
definitely.
down for forever here. So, as long as we got breath in our bodies, as long as our people are aware, as long as we got the power, knowledge, and wisdom, our people are always going to move forward and progress. So, ain't nothing can stop us. We the unmovable object. We's that train that don't stop, moving. So, we're gonna keep on moving forward. Either you get down or get rolled over. And that's what I gotta say.
Right. So I want to read Gornwell's comment again. He says they don't have the source or the recipe. Well, if they did, they wouldn't use those manipulative tactics against us. So I'm gonna agree with you. Then New Arrow says black immigrants should never be the gatekeepers against black Americans in the United States. Right. 100. Now, we're going to have to start looking at our history, taking what worked and what didn't, and then getting rid of some of the things. Well, not getting rid. Relearn some of the things that we were taught. Here's why. The Caribbean Count Bill is a bill to have the Caribbean have their own box on a census. The census is tied to funding. So if you're in places like New York and you see there's a little Haiti, there's a little, I don't know, let's put Chinatown in there. There's little enclaves popping up throughout all of the nation, right? And they get funding for these things and their businesses because funding is tied to the census. We're not really filling out the censuses. However, now with that new understanding that Yvette Clarke has made the Caribbean visible on the censuses, and we're still fighting, I think, to be visible. I don't know, but state censuses count. Do your state census because that's how we got little Haiti in New York. I'm trying to get to the South before the immigrants do. I don't know how much that is going to really happen, but this was a good live. I gave y'all some seeds that I have been researching how you cultivate it. New. You said you do videos showing plagiarism. You could look into further or even based off of what I said, your own research and do how plagiarism harms us because of things like how they benefit off of farming and stuff. You're welcome, Ronnie Mack. Goomworld. He down there talking about make more FBA babies. Okay. That yeah. Eagles fan. They are moving on code and understanding a face is not a leader. Exactly. And yeah, they're operating off of code. Their code is what we say delineation is, right? Delineation for us is working, but they've been delineating it all the time. And it is in the form of a Caribbean count bill. See how that works? And they're silent and strategic, right? But all the time, we've been saying we got to be like the Asians. The Asians, well, maybe not y'all, but I'm in New York. The Asians practice such a group economics. They only hire their own. They only blah 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 blah. Meanwhile, the melanated immigrants been doing the same thing all the time, and we're just now getting a really good look at how they've been operating and who the key player is. I think we should start examining the AOC and the Hispanic caucus and see what's going on. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you for the gifts, guys. Can you tap as the live winds down? I do have a gift goal, some roses, and a handheld double heart. Gift the host, gift my panelists who came up. If you feel it in your heart, I'm gonna give them to you. Yep. So I think we need to examine the other caucuses too. Yvette Clarke is not going to be on the. Oh, I got to recharge. It's not going to be on the Hispanic caucus, but we got the likes of AOC, who says we know about Black Lives Matter, but what about Latino lives? And then she said, and if we're talking reparations for slavery, we understand slavery. However, reparations really comes in with the New Deal, such as mass incarceration and redlining, where white people were given opportunities to get the wealth, and Latinos and African Americans were redlined, huh? Ma'am, y'all willingly migrated here even after your island was acquired. You brought your tail over here. You could have stayed on the island and made it work for y'all. Y'all wasn't here during slavery. Doesn't mean that we're going to skip over it. Because reparations is coming for slavery, the forced labor that built the infrastructure of this great superpower we have. I don't know why she bumped her head. But some of our reparationists did give her pushback. I just don't have their exact names. But shout out to them for doing that. Because she literally was saying that Latinos were targeted with mass incarceration. But if you look at the 13th Amendment that ratified, once it was ratified, it abolished slavery, right? Unless you were what? Incarcerated, okay? And what was the 13th Amendment and who was the 13th Amendment written for? Us, not a Latino, not an African, not a Caribbean. So they weren't targeted for mass incarceration. If they migrated here and committed a crime, then they should have taken their ass to jail. I don't know what the hell we talking about here. But the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment is ours, and we were targeted and faced all types of subjugation. And that's why we had to have the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment. And we might need some more amendments that state immigrants and the immigrants who can't be deported like the Puerto Ricans and the St. Thomasians like Candace Owens and all these other people can't latch on to our civil rights, right? They can't compare their history to ours because they're not a Black American or having a Black experience. They're having an immigrant experience or a Latino experience here in America. I want them to stop using our stuff. And I really dislike that nobody wants to advocate for us, but to advocate for the immigrants. Oh, just like the Black people. ISIS, the triple K. What? So that's my monologue. I could go all day. Salute, salute, salute. I see the salutes going up in the chat. Ronnie Mack has entered the convo. Ronnie, I'm going to start trying to go live more often. This is an echo chamber. Everybody knows that. So y'all could come here and vent. I will have a cool prompt, and you can either just vent or you can answer the prompt. News says, wait, they can't be deported back to Puerto Rico? No, they can't. I think they could be denaturalized. Literally, they're not fully, they still Caribbean, yes. They can't be deported. If there's a child support case and there's a parent in Puerto Rico, and they win the case, they can order an issue of relocation. The relocation order will say that the child has to live with the parent on the island of Puerto Rico. However, from what I uncovered, and people be saying, yeah, they could be deported. I don't find it in any resource, right? I'm in New York. Do you know the type of heinous crimes they commit? And they're never deported back to that island. They're right here in the neighborhood. Okay? So they're not fully covered by the 14th Amendment because they are a territory. However, deportation isn't one of their punishments. They're covered by that. I think that got to stop. I think they should be deported if they commit a crime like murder, RICO charges. I think they should be deported and not allowed to come back to stateside. Good morning, Ronnie. You could go because I am trying to close down, but I know you wanted to say something about the Puerto Rico thing.
No, I just thank you for letting me up. I just wanted to say real quick, someone down in the comments, well, you guys are talking about the 14th Amendment anyways, but I'm gonna ask you, you know how to do the like the petition stuff, right? Like how to set up a petition?
Yes.
Okay, well I'm inbox you, but I think to show our support, I feel like Black Americans, for whatever it's worth, we should hit the streets, have like petitions made, or do whatever we can to let the people, Trump and all them know that this is something that Black Americans are behind, and I think that them seeing that and whatever influence we have, I think that can ultimately affect because it's not guaranteed what will happen, but I think if we do things like that, it'll help our chances. So but yeah, I'll inbox you.
Sure, no problem, Ronnie. So New Arrows and Eagles fan have left us some comments. Eagle says the 14th Amendment decision is going to be huge. Ronnie stated that's because the people who advocate for immigrants have immigrant backgrounds. Correct. Ronnie also says, Eagles fan, yes, we got to pop out to let them know we want it. Nuero says, what's blocking them from being deported? So I wonder what's the logistics of that. As Eagles stated in response, that's one of their benefits. What they can't have is more more than one seat in Congress, meaning the main big Congress. Um, and if they're on the island, they can't vote. So they don't have a say in who the president is. But the ones here can vote, if not mistaken. And then whoever says, so does a territory have the same benefits as a state? Gone World says hip hop was about unity. That's how you can tell they didn't invent it. Correct. Good morning, Lady Bird. And on that note, I like to say thank you to you fine gentlemen. And if there's a woman in the building, just on a private account, thank you for coming and kicking it with me for this segment of Black History.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah,
You're
we
welcome. I gave
appreciate you,
myself a
BX.
headache talking about Yvette Clark, I'm gonna go relax. Going over all the things that she's doing and the things we're being locked out of. So I'm gonna go try and relax my nerves. Um you're welcome, FBA Prime Time anytime.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, go ahead
You're
and
welcome. I
relax. We
appreciate
go.
y'all too.
Oh yeah, you know I'm gonna
Yeah.
rock out with you. I don't care if it's just me, you. I don't care if it's
Mhm.
2 people, 3 people. Always gonna rock with you. I don't need a
Yeah.
crowd to speak.
Yeah.
'Cause at the end of the day, it's about our lineage. It's about our people, and that's what we all fighting for.
Exactly. So, I'm not gonna put an exact date on when I'm gonna come back, but I might do this time slot again. If y'all gonna be up just for a little while, because I know during the day y'all got y'all favorites and stuff, or y'all working or sleeping. But I'll see how my body feel. Because I tell you, I just fall asleep for 4 hours, wake up, and then I go about my day. But I don't want to keep y'all here talking all the time. I'm gonna just give a shout out. Whoever says U.S. Virgin Islanders, we never have problems with them. They cool. At the beginning of this whole hip hop debate and right before I think delineation was a prominent. Virgin Islanders were in the comments. They were like, a lot of them don't know that they have Caribbean blood. He was talking about the U.S. Intra-American slave trade, and then I was looking at them and I was like, so Eagles fan says, nah, I'm running my business and working, so you all get me through my day. Ah, cool. Okay. Self-made. I'm trying to log off. I have a very bad headache. Is it important or you just want to say hi? Because I got a headache. I do. I have a headache. I'm sorry. Self-made. Um, I just woke up early this morning, Mama Annie. I have a headache. Let me see. I hope this ain't gonna take all time. Good morning. Good morning, self-made. You're on the panel. How are you?
But I ain't going around promoting no Nigeria, because I'm black. I'm blackity black.
I'm going to lay down. And the new arrow says 78% of them are black. That's more than Puerto Rico. Grand Rising, Mama Ani. I just hopped in before I go to work. Thank you for hopping in. Self-made, you know you are on the panel. I'm shutting down, y'all. I just don't want to be rude.
I'm so sorry. I accidentally requested in.
Okay, self-made. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna just hit the off button. Y'all have a blessed day, and I'll catch you after I get some rest. My head is hurting me behind this daily history
All right,
lesson.
10-4 on that. We see you later,
All
bitch.
right. Okay, see you later.
All right.
Peace, love, light, and reparations to my foundational Black Americans or anybody of the lineage who can identify as such. I love us for real.
Yeah. Oh, you too, Auntie. Talk to you later.
Okay, talk to you later.